Yeah, I do recall the remarks that Bishop Duncan had made, but I really wasn't quite sure exactly what he was referring to. So maybe we need to clarify exactly where he was going with it and what was he talking about. Again, we may make some assumptions that he was talking about human rights, but I don't know that for sure. And rather than me commenting on something that I'm not clear on, it'd be best for me to get some clarification. And maybe for yourself, if you want to get clarification, that would be good as well. But we don't want to take away from what yesterday meant. That was a bringing together of people. And that's what I, Craig Cannonier, as the premier of this country, am after. We saw a beautiful day when the Norwegian Cruise Lines brought in the breakaway. We saw where Wedco, we saw where the taxi drivers and the ferries and the buses, all those folk working up at the Wedco to ensure that the ship came in safely. I can't say enough about that collaborative effort that took place so that when you got there, let's just face it, was over 8,000 people, 4,000 passengers coming off of the breakaway, plus its crew, which was 1,500, and you had celebrity up there as well, who had several thousand coming off of that ship. I mean, it says a lot about our ability to come together to ensure that we get it done. And that's what I've been championing all along. The greatest asset Bermuda has is its people. And I know that when we come together, in the past we have overcome just wild obstacles in our way. I mean, we're a country without any natural resources of our own, but yet we're one of the financial capitals of the world. That only happens when people come together. So again, yesterday with the prayer conference that took place, again, this is a testimony of how when we come together, things happen. Things are magical. Prayers are answered per se. And this is a beautiful thing for us. Yesterday just represented, listen, it can be difficult to get different denominations together, probably more difficult than trying to get politicians together sometimes, but they answered the call. And simply I was asking of the clergy of Bermuda to come together. I believe that each physical body represents the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. And this was a call to our spiritual leaders to raise their game and to raise the awareness that we have a spiritual element to us that needs to be fed. And that was what that was all about. And what a tremendous, tremendous success to see that. So we're excited about this week. Some good has come out of this. And I want to reiterate as well, we've been talking to the Norwegian Cruise Lines about creating jobs for Bermudians and entertainment on the ships. That is ongoing. Our immigration officers talking with them as well. And I personally have been speaking to the leaders of the Norwegian Cruise Lines, and there's synergy there. So we know that these things are going to happen. So we're just trying to work them out. But again, this week has represented just a beautiful, beautiful representation of coming together. That's where I want to take Bermuda. We've now got to move away from the negativity. Sometimes we dulcify and try to sweeten up the negativity out there. We need to be looking at opportunities. Yes, things aren't the way that we would like for them to be now, but let's out of that and those lemons make lemonade. And we have a great opportunity of doing that. And in the past, we have done it before so successfully, we can still do it today in 2013. Certainly, it's difficult to have a definitive line between church and state, let's just face it. When we're talking about legislating law in Bermuda, everyone has a stake in how we move forward. So I understand the argument, but we also have to understand that people have choices, and they should be able to speak their mind concerning the issues of Bermuda and concerning how we move forward as a country. It would be foolhardy for me to say that there's a clean, clear line that separates the two, because we're talking about people, and everyone has opinions. And politics, whether we like it or not, we're all involved in the political future of this country, because every day we're looking out for our own interest in some form or some fashion or some way, whether it be the churches, whether it be social programs like football clubs, cricket clubs, whether it be some of the other nonprofit organizations that we have out there, whether it be private schools, public schools, whether you come from St. David's or whether you come from Somerset, the interest is there. Communities have an interest in wanting to do well, and those things become political. I don't think that politics should be a dirty word or feel like it's tainted with some darkness. This is an opportunity for us to change the trajectory of politics and make it a positive thing. So Again, I agree that the line may be gray at times, but it's important. I mean, yesterday you saw where the churches came together, and they're going to be donating monies to the cause of victims of violent crime. This is an important thing to the future of our country, and it works together with our Operation Ceasefire efforts by our Public Safety Minister, Dunkley. So these are all important things, and we've got to work together. At the same time, maintain enough separation so that the influence is limited to a certain degree. So.